Let's go live. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Happy
Hello.
Friday, Valentine's Day.
Friday Tea Time Ascension Talk, Valentine's Day. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. See, this is a little bit lower, I feel, today.
Okay.
You know? But that's okay.
Can we put it up higher? Can we get a book?
I would like for you to get it. So today, welcome, everyone. So welcome. So here's our teas. And here's our Friday. We're so excited to have you join with us. Welcome to today. Hi, Demetries. Happy Valentine's Day to you, sweetheart. So yeah, let's put this up. Just 1 second, everyone. So today, Michael set this up. So he's learning how it's better. Okay, everyone. So welcome. Let us know where you're joining us from, please. And also, okay, there. Let us know where you're joining us from and what tea you're drinking. Here's our tea today. So we are having, I don't know, I guess you're having
mangosteen.
Okay, I'm having mangosteen peel tea. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and turn this live as well. So we have both of these taking place. One moment, everyone. So we're going to, because we're new in this channel on our Ascension Alchemists, so we're just going to have the live stream. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Friday Tea Time Ascension Talk. So we just started our live stream on Facebook as well, but we're going to just let it be there because our dedication is to the YouTube portal. And as we have been doing this through YouTube for a while, but because we're new on the Ascension Alchemist page, so we want to get that energy going. So happy Valentine's Day, Michael.
Happy Valentine's Day. What a very awakening morning.
What a wild morning is it. Hi. Let's see. Who is here? Dreams Come True Journey of the Goddess. I love that.
What is your
from
name?
Maryland.
Dreams Come True.
Hello from Maryland. Please introduce yourself and tell us what tea you're drinking. Thank you for joining us. Dreams do come true for sure.
Every day. Every day they come true.
So welcoming everybody to this Friday Valentine's Day. I'm so excited. This whole week has been a beautiful, literally ecstatic week to embrace so much from Michael's birthday all the way to here. We have so much to cover. And there's a lot to share. There's definitely a lot to share. This is going to be a little bit a good 2-hour episode today. We got a lot to cover.
The first thing we should do.
Wait. Should we exchange gifts first?
I think so, because there's some things that are going to be a part of this.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kelli. Let's say hello to everybody. Why don't we check how everybody's doing first?
Okay.
How's that? Because we're excited.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kelli, for messaging me on my birthday. Thank you very much. It's beautiful that you chimed in today.
Yes, and you're going to see me occasionally do this because what I'm doing is my new device where we get to take some pictures over there. Thank you so much. Oh, I love those emojis. Dreams Come True Journey. Did we catch your name, darling? You're from Maryland. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Demetries, as always, showing your beautiful, beautiful support, your beautiful love, and all those. And for all those that are watching, please feel free to chime in. Introduce yourself. What are you drinking on this beautiful tea time for today?
So for those of you that are new,
Adrian.
Hello, Adrian. So our Friday tea time, this has been more than 1.5 years. We just gather, we sit around, we talk, and we go over what the recent frequencies have been, and we just have some tea. And it was really inspired by my grandmother and my passion for tea, where we can just have tea. Usually whenever my friends or my sons, they want to discuss something, and even with Michael, I'm like, let me just put on the tea. Let's just come sit together and we start talking. And there's nothing more beautiful than the energy of tea that helps us to talk, and we relax. We take off middle of the day, and we really embrace the power it is self-love, and it's
Mhm.
so appropriate for today in divine. The focus for us is divine love. And of course, the human love, the divine, bringing it to the human love.
And expanding in all the areas that wants to distract it, even on those beautiful days where you're ready to wake up and say, good morning. And then you have the beautiful 3D, 4D, NED come in. And it's just amazing of how that love is there to expand into those areas, really for our own ability to see how well we're on this journey, if we can hold that space of joy, light, and love in all those areas. But before we get in, how are you guys doing? Demetries and Adrian and Kelli, how are things flowing for you guys this day? It's sunny, but a little chilly, I'm sure.
You're in Washington,
D.C. I'm sure it's warm and sunny in Mexico, Kelli. How is your Tulum adventure treating you?
Yeah.
And we would love to know where you are in Maryland, our dear Adrian. If you're in the community, please let us know, because we have lots of beautiful events within our Germantown area. But welcome to our beautiful state of Mary. That's great to have another one. You know.
Another Magdalene energy, Mary energy. So it's so beautiful, because today I just want to share. My morning has been a bit rattling. Both my sons had spent the night.
Just a bit.
But my older son, hi Tanya, woohoo!
Good
Tanya is here
morning.
from Bluffton, South Carolina.
I hope it's warm and sunny. It's sunny and cold here, but we're holding your frequency. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. And Laurel, wonderful.
Thank you. Today was, by the way, 33 degrees when I went drop Nevon off, and my odometer, Michael, read 39,999.
Beautiful.
I took a picture of it.
Lots of 3s and 9s.
A lot of 9s, yeah. So this morning, my younger son, when he got up, he's been giving us a hard time getting up, going to school. There's just a lot going on. I think for those of you that are joining in, you've heard he's gone recently pro as a content creator. So he doesn't want to go to school anymore. And he's one of those special gifted kids that just, there's a lot of challenge around
He's
that.
a true rebel.
He's a true rebel. He doesn't want to be in school anymore. I don't blame him, but he has to finish. He's in 11th grade. And meanwhile, he's blossoming. And we're trying to, like, as a parent, what to do with this. And yet at the same time, he get up, he does finally get up this morning. And when I go to take him, he's got all this rash on his face, and I look mortified. What happened? He had some allergic reaction last night. I don't know what it was. So I went, dropped him off, and I was like, why didn't you get him? He didn't want to wake us up. I was like, you're supposed to wake me up. So anyway, Michael had to go. Michael, there was something that he wanted to have for today. He accidentally had it shipped to his mother's house, which is in Finksburg, Maryland, an hour away. So he gets up early in the morning. He goes all the way there. I'm like, Michael, it's not important, but
it's very important.
But it's important
when we look at the surprises and good energy that we can create, because you know what, an hour here, an hour there, it's good for meditation, good for energy, and it works out well. But I'm excited. I'm excited.
So let's turn these lights on, my love, because somehow the lights are affected today too. So we have more of this light. So anyway, it's been a rattling day. Then my son called. I had to go pick him up from school, drop him off, come back, set up this live stream. So it's been rattling. And can I just tell you, when I did my love post for you today, I was just like, I just wanted to get up and hug you, kiss you, and give you the gift. This today, just a silly gift, but it was just today. It's it just got all rattled.
So you know what the beautiful thing about the theme is, for all of you guys that are listening, all of you guys, the theme is, even if we have maybe an expectation or a want or a desire, the most important thing is to flow with it, because if we hold it too tightly, we're going to create our suffering. And as much as Hon and I wanted to wake up, soft hug, happy Valentine's Day, you know what the gift of it all is today? We got to go through the complete darkness of chaos. I would rather personally, and this is just my opinion, I would rather personally get through the chaos first, transform all that, and then allow all the light to live. Because as I was listening to Honey, today in the shower and all the areas, I could hear the anger and frustration, just a lot of what was moving through. And so I kept reminding.
I wasn't angry at all. I was just frustrated. I was more flustered.
Okay, well, under frustration is anger. It's pieces. But point being is, to have that be washed away first, so that all the joy and celebration can come, is what I always appreciate. If I had that choice, I'd be like, okay, let's go through the dark and dense and then bring through, even though the love is there. And sometimes when those moments are going through, it's asking ourselves how we can hold ourselves in that love, in that higher state of higher self, and just to feel as we're moving through it to keep coming back to love. So even though we didn't get to do it first thing in the morning, the excitement is we now get to do it first thing now in front of everyone.
Oh my goodness, really?
So yes, really, because you know what? You love video, you love surprises, and so I feel the most important things.
I actually don't love surprises.
Well, okay, well, if you don't love surprises, I love surprises.
Okay.
So I'm sharing. As you surprise me on mine, I'd like you just to close your eyes.
Okay.
I'd like to take your hand. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and
so can I just say something before this? Like, so
I'm so excited to share, and you're like, wait.
Okay, so I just want to share this. So just one second. Thank you, my love. Just 1 second.
Like
So this week, there's been so much focus energy on divine love, and the divine love is so important. Is for all of us. So this Valentine's Day, for a number of years, I really fought against that. It is very mass marketing. It is designed to make people feel really awful, and it's way it's portrayed in a way to, for example, if you're having trouble in your relationships or you don't even have a relationship, to make you really feel bad. And for years, I finally dissolved that out of me, and I decided to choose Valentine's Day to blast it with love even greater, because there's a collective energy of love that is being captured. There are hearts everywhere, red color, pink color, purple color. These are rays of light. There is a way to express the love through the roses, through all of this, but there is something that inside is calling to be expressed in its expression of love. And for that, I appreciate, though it's marketing, it's mass, whatever, but I really wanted us to take advantage of today and to some of the things we'll do today.
Sure.
For our special Friday Tea Time Essential Thought, to really embrace that divine love inside of us. And this week particularly has been, because it started with Michael's birthday. He was so bedazzled by love. We'll talk about that. And then we had our playtime on Wednesday, which we talk about it. And today and tomorrow, I have a special class that really is meditation with chocolate. That is something I've taught in many, many countries, many years, to help people experience that inner divine love inside. And as we go into this, because the energy of February is a relation energy, and then we're in 2020. There's this, we've talked about this, how this energy is the alignment with divine, and we constantly keep meeting it. And I feel today is a very special day.
And to pick up on that, thank you, honey. Even for those that are single out there, I feel you, Demetries. Also know that this is a day to love the beloved within, to honor yourself. I know a lot of times this is a Hallmark holiday in America. We choose to play, get little simple things, and by all means share that from the joy of our heart to bring the laughter, the sweetness, and the kindness of all that has been moving through. So even those that are triggered by today, those that may feel lonely or left out, know that this is also your opportunity to give as much love to yourself, to visualize, to imagine what is it within your life that you'd like to create, to use this power of love, because it is within yourself. And it is this great honor and great joy that you can merge the masculine, merge the feminine within you, so that you can feel that love for yourself and really bring forth. But no start, no later. Before we get going, I'm going to give the gift to you.
Okay.
And there's no more delaying this and stuff.
There's so much I want to talk about, but okay, here.
Okay. So,
no problem.
We have 2 hours.
Okay, no problem.
So why don't you
goodness.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you to go ahead and take your hand.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to pull this out right here.
Pull
it out.
this
Yeah,
out.
pull it out because you're putting it on. Go ahead, open your eyes.
Oh, this is so cute.
So honey gets to wear a unicorn.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
She gets to become a unicorn today. I feel that right now.
This is wonderful. This is
Now,
I love
now, would you want
this.
to wait like another hour before you got this? That's
Oh,
why
this is so wonderful.
Okay, we're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
We're not done yet. Okay,
Okay.
you gotta place your hands in here. Go pull another thing
Okay.
out.
So this is
Open your eyes.
Okay. Ah, this is so beautiful. Yay.
Little cute things, you know.
Cute.
Little
It's
cute
precious.
things.
This is lovely. We're gonna hand it. This is very important. As we'll very important. I love it. Thank you, love. We love hearts everywhere. Ah, this is so cute. I love heart stickers. I love heart stickers. I melt. I love these. I love hearts. I love hearts. I love hearts.
So I just feel
Thank
that
you.
you're welcome. See, it's good
this
to
is
start
so
out
cute.
with like some cute gifts because you know when we can gift others, it just brings a joy in ourselves, and you know it's not that
I
we're getting
love
too
this.
captured into it. So
Hold on a minute. Let me see. Let Michael take a look. Come here. Come closer a little bit. No, not video, not video. So,
she has this
some of
new
you.
camera. If you guys are curious, she has her new video itself right there. So now we're just posing.
Michael, come closer to me. One picture. One picture. So I'm in love with this thing because it's now connected to my phone and I can just take pictures and video with it so easily. Okay, so since we're doing gift exchange, this is for Michael. So you're gonna close your eyes, pick one at a time.
Oh, look at you!
What? So you get to see.
Oh wow! Look what we got here. We have this. Well,
wait, first you have it.
That's not mine.
I know he gets so shy, so I got an underwear
for you.
For me.
You know what the beautiful thing about Honey is? The funny is when she buys things, it's not for me. It's for her or us. So I bet you every little gift that's being given is something. Because like
this
usually,
is for us.
This
is for you.
All the things that are given are usually for something. Like, I got this for you, us, or me.
Okay, so, and look, I got you a lavender.
Wow, this is for me or you?
Lavender, but it's for our altar.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing? So this is a little lavender kit for the altar. Isn't that so cute?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
look at you.
Wow.
Look at that.
Beautiful socks. Look at
Look
that.
at
Shamanic socks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh,
Michael loves shamanic socks. See, I'm not going to be wearing that.
Oh, maybe if you run out of socks, but thank you, love. Thank you.
And one more thing.
Oh, you got a card.
Yeah. Tanya, I'm going to have him put this on his. That's his crown today. How about that? Wait, Michael, let's take a picture of that too. It's celebration, right?
So it says, here's a little llama card. And here it comes up itself right there. Oh,
Michael, look! Open it up! Open it up!
That's so cute.
Llamas! He knows how much I love llamas.
Wow. Well, since we're enjoying the joy, did you hear something?
Yeah.
What did you hear?
Something.
You heard something too?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, I heard a noise.
Goodness. Yeah.
It sounds like an animal.
Yeah.
Does it sound like an animal?
I don't know.
Wow, I hear something coming up.
Did you get a cat?
You can put the video in if you want to see this.
No, Michael, you got a cat?
No, there's something that just came along. I heard it. Go for it. What's in here?
Seriously?
Oh my gosh.
My God! My God! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! So cute! Oh my! I love this one, boy. Oh, this is precious.
I heard her coming all the way. Look at that.
Michael, thank you. Oh. So this is translucent.
Look at that. A little
wow,
baby one.
So precious. Oh, it looks almost like my llama.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. This is precious. So here's our little gift giving. I really love my underwear on you, Michael.
I think it's pretty. Wow, it makes me feel very jungle-like.
Huh?
It makes me feel very jungle-like.
I love it. Isn't that wonderful? So thank you, sweetheart. This is fun.
because
How
people
fun.
get to see it and they get to laugh, enjoy it alone. And
that's what it's for. This
it's
little,
part of the joy,
it's precious.
and what we really
continuation of the. Yeah. We're gonna have this one join us.
And what we appreciate about this really is part of it is to have fun.
This is really special for just today.
And to enjoy the fun of it all. We're by no parts trying to support the marketing, the full on Hallmark holiday. We just want to have fun and enjoy and celebrate the laughter. So as we can laugh a lot, we can laugh at me, we can laugh at Honey, we can laugh at the beauty of just bringing that joy to each of you, because we know somewhere it just touches our hearts. And when we can have fun and play, we go into what we've been celebrating, our inner child, and just bringing that innocence forward, so we can really just come together and share
that's
that
been
heart.
the week, so today, because it's a Valentine's Day, it happens to be on Venus Friday. It is a fifth energy. It happens to be the 45 day of 2020. That's a 9 completion energy. So what are we completing? There's this fifth dimensional that we're moving to. And we're moving. It's in infinite dimensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're opening up to this divine love inside. We have to open up to the divine love inside to be able to. Can I go in?
Mm-hmm.
We have to open up to this divine love inside to be able to access even higher dimensional consciousness that we already are. So what is so important is for us has been to bring the joy element into it, to bring the play into it, to allow the play and the innocence to open up that vibration inside. So I really wanted to open up the space, and I'm glad we started it this way. It's cute. It's adorable. I never imagined you would actually have a brand new underwear on your head, a female's underwear. You are such a sacred divine masculine.
I will divulge a very childhood, probably ridiculous thing that me and my best friend always used to do. We always used to put on, what would it be like if we just had female underwear on our head? I mean, would we? It was a joke.
I love that.
It was a joke. We were like, wouldn't it be just nice just to have like an underwear? Like, what would happen? So it was a joke that we always grow up to. So now I get to have my full on leopard, silk level. I feel like an avatar now. I'm ready to go to the jungle and swing from the lions and be with the animals. But I figure since Honey has her level, and that looks kind of phallic too. So.
I knew it. I was gonna tell you, this looks kind of phallic, Michael. I don't know.
Maybe we're going
I don't know. There's something happening. This was not planned.
I have the underwear. I have the sacred
this
female
is a little bit
feminine
funny.
hair, and she has the unicorn with the flowers on top. So
that's so funny.
So maybe we should
speaking
just
of
just a little, so they can see fully your unicorn.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a little too phallic-y for me. Too much phallic-y for me. It's okay. So I wanted to really come in this space. So let's check in with you. First and most, how are you all doing? Kelli, Tanya, Adriana, Demetries. For those of you that are joining us, there's 7 people watching. If you'd like to introduce yourself, we'd love to have you, just to hear from you. How are you really doing today? How is it? How what's happening? How are you doing? How are you feeling today? The reason why I'm asking is because we've come off. Today's the 14th. We've come off this 2-2 galactic, massive wormhole portal. And then we had another one on 2/11. And then we're going to 2/22 next week, Saturday. So how is it going? By the way, Demetries, can you please respond back to Michael? Michael's been wanting to just listen to you, have an hour conversation with you. That space for you. Just can't respond back to him on Messenger. Anyway, so what I wanted to open up, one was, of course, to share this and really being honest with yourself and us. How are you doing? Has it been a tough week for you? How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing spiritually? And also, is today a day of trigger for you? Or is it a day that you are really celebrating? And why I'm asking that is because if you are somebody who is solo, by yourself, beautiful. There's nothing greater than for you to be by yourself. There's nothing more important for you to celebrate you. Because if you are really feeling that you wish to share your life with somebody and to really share the gift of love, the gift of love that is bestowed is first bestowed upon you. And let's say if somebody comes along to spark that, that like ignition in you, it ignites it in you, is because it's helping you remember your connection with that divine spark. So every day is a gift where you can celebrate you. Like especially today, do go buy the flowers for yourself. Do go buy the chocolate. Do go buy the hearts. Do get heart stickers. Put it all over you. Give yourself permission to be loved by you in its even silliest expression. What is important, even though these things are here, I'm not for the marketing and all of that, but there is an action when we choose to take an action from the joy and its celebration for ourselves, because we've thought it, we're giving ourselves the power of the emotion to feel it, and we take it into the physical action. We're saying to the loving universe that I say yes to this, that I invite this into my experience, and I open that door within myself. As silly as it is, it actually has to be that innocent and silly, because more of that will come, because it's lighter, it's joyful. And when it comes to experience, you're not going to deny it and put it away. And if you're sorry, my love, and if you're in relations, and if it's been so busy, of course, in our modern life, and just very, very, very intense, because everyday problems, especially if you have children not feeling good, not want to go to school, and you're dealing with teachers and detention, or for example, you have to take care of all the responsibilities of life. And sometimes those energies, because they're heavier, they suppress the feeling of that little child inside and the joy. So as a result of it, you can't feel the love as much. So whenever you allow the inner child come in, you open that door of more of that stream to open up, so you can interact with it. And that's why I feel is very, very important to just give yourself permission and allow.
And Demetries, you said something very, very important. Every day is Valentine's Day. Every day, in every moment, we have the opportunity to express our love. The most important to be that love, and it's so important to honor that the love that we want to express is also the love that we want to embody first, because so many of us have been taught to give love in order to receive love, or all the love that I give, I shall receive that. And really, it starts with in our own sacred heart, in our own sacred flame of honoring that love by creating that within. So however it is on this day to create happiness, on every day to start with that joy, to start with that love, because that is the energy that builds within. And a lot of times, if we're going out to try to ignite it or trying to stimulate it, but it's coming from emptiness, then we're not coming from our full expression of love. Right. So it's really, really important that, even though there's things that come up that are triggering us, there's things that come up, to meet that with love.
That's right.
A lot of times we forget that each and every opportunity that's given to us has the opportunity to be met with love, to be met with compassion, because somewhere in our life, that opportunity has not been given to it attention. Somewhere it's been buried, somewhere it just hasn't been appreciated or held. And so even during the hardest times or the moments that make you feel bad, bring love to that, invite that. I always say, if there's that anger or frustration, embrace that anger with love. If there's guilt, if there's shame, if there's loneliness, if there's rejection, abandonment, betrayal, anything that comes up to trigger, bring that to you, and almost like this little unicorn, like bring that shame, that blame, and just bring it to your heart. Caress it, cuddle it, because the more that we're able to meet that with our highest level of love, the more we're able to dissolve those limitations that just want to be wiped away, these old conditions and programs. And I find it's important that it is, Demetries, an everyday process. Yes,
it is every day. And some days you do very well. And some days you wake up like you're rattled, like this morning. And I had to really, it took me a little while to get back into myself. And I did. But then again, to meet that, to meet it with love and like bring it in and like really call it in. Like I really called it in. And I said, my higher self, I am merged with my human self, coming through me even stronger today. I want to feel you even deeper. And I feel it's easier on days that is more in flow, but in days, and I feel today's energy, because there's this collective energy of Valentine's, there is this energy of judgment within the collective energy. There is this, because love wants to be in a certain way, and there are many individuals who are not receiving what their heart really desires by themselves, so they really have that expectation from another. And when the individual is meeting it in however their way, then it's met with disappointment. So as a result of it, there's this saddened energy. So we want to lift all of these.
On that, I would say, even in those days where we're at our most saddest points, I find those are the greatest opportunities to shine love, because it's really easy when we're in those good times that the love is flowing, that we can take for granted, but we can just go with the flow.
Yes.
I find that when these moments that are our hardest moments, are most challenging, that's our greatest opportunity to take that deepest form of love and expand that, because it's that to me is our highest state of growth and expansion of what is coming forward. And what I've always learned personally is in those points where I feel the most sad, the most angry, the frustrated, then I also check back within myself and really ask myself, how much am I honoring and loving myself right now? How much am I holding myself in that state of healthy boundaries where I'm not giving too much energy or too many of my choices to other feelings that don't belong to me? Because a lot of times the feelings, the emotions of others, that's their journey they're going to, and we have to honor them. We have to respect them, but at the same time, the most important thing to honor is we do have a choice. We have a choice of how we want to work with our feelings. And one of the most important things in this journey is really to help, I don't want to say control our emotions, because it's not about control, but it's helping manage. It's aligning, but it's also, I find with emotions, one of our biggest masteries in life is to really to manage them in a way that they're not taking control over us, because these emotions will pull us left and right, and we get mistaken because we all of a sudden tune them to, well, this is how I feel today, and this is what's pulling me down. But it is an emotion that's coming forward. So when we can align deeper in our heart into our divine love, into our divine creation with gratitude and the joy that is already within us, then we don't give all of our energy to our emotional body.
I feel emotional body and feeling are two different things. Emotional body is the emotions, range of emotions you feel is really by the lower three chakras. The power of that feeling is straight in the heart. Because when you are here, then those you can have these energies, emotions, but you're not pulled into it. But if you are pulled into the emotional body, you're going to feel the tsunami, the volcano, the tornado, the earthquake, all of it, because that's where your energy is pulled into.
And I feel there's a crucial point to where it's like a split of a second to where how we can get pulled into it. Because if we're standing in our divine alignment and that emotional body doesn't pull us into it, then it shows how far we've come to see if that trigger or that moment has affected us. Because it's that response. If we're reacting in a way that all of a sudden the frustration, the anger, the pain, or what many of us do, take on so much of other people's energy, then all of a sudden we're stepping out of our own alignment, because we're putting more focus on others than ourselves. And that's one of the biggest things that we have to learn is to honor thyself first so that we can honor others. Value ourselves first so we can value others, because that's what self-love is all about. I really find the journey is to see how much love we can fully embody within ourselves with the divine in us, and then expand that outward without it pulling us, which is our journey. We're all being pulled in different directions. We all have experiences. There's things that happen. And I find it's a gift when we get these tests, because we can always come back to our choice of love and just breathe into it and just send that love there. Breathe into it and expand that love. If it's like, look at this cute little unicorn. Do you see how cute this little unicorn is?
I'm trying to find the name for it.
So like when we see this cute little unicorn and then all of a sudden something happens in the day and it's like, man, that really angers me. Look at this cute little unicorn.
It has a name. Aurora. Oh, it's so cute.
So we can send Aurora's energy to that area that maybe made us feel bad, or maybe that area that has pullovers, because that love will always be the highest vibration that helps dissolve those lower densities. So it's within us. We have that ability. It just comes down to our choice.
Thank you. So yeah, the focus is divine love, and the whole month of February really is because it's the relation, and that relationship with the heart. Where are we in relationship with our heart? So where are you in the relationship with your heart?
And let's just check in real quick, because we've seen some comments come in. Kelli from Tulum, Teddy and I have been appreciating weather so much during this trip. The trip has been really smooth, except for one difficult time, which you helped each other. Beautiful.
Nice.
Eating, relaxing today. Love thyself. You are strong, and help each other. Learning, accepting. Had an emotional breakdown. When you're in these places of powerful vortexes, whether it's Tulum, Demetries, whether it's in London, just know that these big moments come through us so that we can help wash that away. But how the rest of you doing? Thank you, Kelli, for sharing your experiences, because Tulum definitely is a very powerful, beautiful place.
It's an amazing vortex. So by the way, Kelli, the picture that I put on our Ascension Alchemists page, so that picture, so let's talk about this for a minute. So that's a picture of 12/12 in Tulum, more than 3 years ago, when Michael and I had just met, and that's our first kiss. That's actually first kiss, and I had my selfie stick after the planetary work we did on the beach.
Really, you had a stick then? I thought it was your arm.
No, I think I took that actually, because if you look at it, my arm is not like this. It's the way, that picture. Yeah, so let me bring the picture.
And it was interesting because it was on 12/12. We had to go through Tulum, all the way through with this far back road to find the specific place, and it was amazing.
This is our first kiss, actually. I happen to get. How happy are you that I captured this?
I think it's great because it matches the blue to the kiss to. Look how dark we were, because
we were so burned.
It was literally on the beach, and we went so far past the main town.
So we were supposed to be at the pyramid, and when so much happened. I mean, so much happened that the day before it, we met this lesbian couple that when we went to the coffee shop, we went to get some coffee, and when we went there, then I had this experience with the Syrians right away with their names is Wendy and Luz. And I had this experience with them. So the information started exchanging, and suddenly everything shifted, that we're not supposed to be at the pyramid for 12/12. But
and the day before we went there, and we could just feel the energy.
We could feel the energy. That's not what the work had to be.
The heaviness of the pyramids, because a lot of the ruins that we go to, you can see that depending upon the grid lines, sometimes it can just feel very heavy, very sad, and it was interesting to see what was being placed. So everything shifted. It was great for Honey to really recognize that. Yeah.
So I started receiving all that information, and we're like, no, we got to be somewhere else. So meanwhile, Michael and I we're just traveling. We haven't gotten a chance to know each other much. Like, it's just we met, and then we got on the road 2 weeks after. So this is a week into our travel almost. And so I received guidance. Okay, we have to be somewhere secluded, And because we hadn't kissed, we hadn't touched, we hadn't done anything, no intimacy whatsoever, everything had to be pure because we had to bring the purity flame in. And so I was given, like, we had to go as far as away from the pyramids. Some were very secluded because I had the key for this one particular gate. I had to open it and close it. So anyway, so it took a lot of trust for us to go and park somewhere, go through the jungle, come on the beach.
Go through the jungle.
Literally go through the jungle. So I want to show you here. There's like one house was way on the other side, one house way the other side. Nobody else was here that day. Nobody. So then I had to, it was so funny. So we went and I was like, okay, Michael, do you know what you're supposed to, this is the beginning of our work together. I was like, do you know what you're supposed to do? He's like, I think so. I'm like, well, you just sit there. You just hold the sacred divine mask and do not look at me because I'm going to make a lot of sounds. I'm going to be very strange. Make sure you don't pay attention to me. I'll be hollering, voices are coming out of me. So he's like, okay, and I'm going to be naked. Don't look at me. So
it's fine. My eyes were closed and I was channeling in the light. And previously, there have been moments where I've been on the land and I've received messages of what was coming through, not to the advanced level of planetary healing Honey did, but it was powerful because it was 12 o'clock. Bright day. I mean, as you know, Kelly, the sun in Mexico, and for those that are in tropical areas near the equator, you have to be so careful. The sun was just beaming down, beaming down, beaming down. So as Honey was like,
and not a soul. Yeah. It's just my color. It looks like Adam and Eve. It's just us.
Turquoise water.
Like no, nothing.
Absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing, and just an opportunity that I felt was like once in a lifetime because I've never been to if you look at beaches around the world, it's very rare to find secluded beaches, let alone where you don't find anyone on there. And it was so far past. And I remember when Honey was like, do you feel it? I'm like, I remember driving. I remember we were driving. There was like all of a sudden this shift of like energy.
And all these birds
came through.
Passed by.
And then we just literally had to stop on the road. I mean, it was like a dirt, road. And I remember like we had to get like these little wristbands because it was like the eco part of Tulum. It's like the real fancy part, but driving all the way past that and then just getting to an area where we felt called, and it was, I mean, phenomenal.
So it was so interesting. I had Michael sit, and then I went, and then I had let me just show you this.
It was a beautiful, bright blue, wonderful day.
This is a very important part that I've had to work with. We'll get into it later. I had to travel to many different parts of the world for me to open one of the gates and work with the codes of light, bringing in them. And so it was so funny that day because so Michael went, and I couldn't be concerned at all with Michael doing. I'm like, just hold the vibration. Whatever you need to do, just don't look at me. I'm going to be in my own thing, and it's going to take a while. So anyway, so I started going into the stream of what was coming through and started going to the sound, the movement. And I remember it was like there were two ticking rotational, if you want to say, timelines that were being shifted. And I had to keep moving one of them, and then I had to go to the other one, move it. And at some point, I remember I was receiving that Michael has to come start spinning the other timeline gateway, the other way. And meanwhile, I'm like, Michael, like I'm in the middle, but I'm in channeled face, so my mouth is like this, and
white
I'm like trying to have him not like pay attention. So meanwhile, like imagine I have this like this in my hand, and I'm naked, and I'm going like this, and I'm spinning my mouth is quicker because lights are coming in, and I'm speaking, and there's a lot of things happening with the codes. So meanwhile, I'm trying to get Michael's attention to come to start spinning the other one. And so he finally came, and we're spinning and spinning and spinning, clockwise and counterclockwise. And oh my goodness, it was such a crazy experience with each other. And you did very well. Yeah. And then I was like, then that took a while. And usually I always take my hot tea with me. So it took my hot tea. And by this time, Michael and I had now finally some attraction towards each other. So
I think
finally there was some
I
attraction.
think that it was in the back of our minds,
No,
but
there
it
was
wasn't.
somebody wasn't. It was definitely not in the forefront at all. There was
Yeah.
just some attraction, and I feel this one probably spiked it
Just a little.
So, so then it was so funny because then we had to after like 2.5 hours, it's hot, nobody there. We sat down after we went both in the water, and I asked you to be naked.
Yeah.
And Michael was like, okay. I'm like, you go over there, I go over there. We go in the naked. We just had to be very pure with our vessels and not hiding anything, just being our total truth. And then we came back and I had my tea. We started drinking some hot tea, right? And
I remember she's drinking hot tea. It's a hot day.
Hot day. And then
we're we were close by, and then like a movie. I remember just looking into her eyes, and then
I was like, "Oh, what's happening? What's happening? No, what's happening?"
And then I leaned over and gave her a kiss, and then she gave me a kiss, and then before I know it, she attacked me.
Oh, he loves to say like that. So this picture is actually when that took place when we kissed. So and I love this so much. But yeah, we went from nothing to full blast lovemaking on the beach right there. Everything got mixed up. Everything got mixed up, like on the beach, totally. And it was very powerful, very beautiful, and also very raw, very real. I mean, we started our whole life raw, real, like here we go, we show up.
Yeah, we went from Z to A.
Z to A, exactly. Galactic speed.
Yeah.
So
it was a magical moment.
It was very magical. We really embraced the magic.
And I remember afterwards, I was so hungry that we had this delicious pizza afterwards that Honey put so much habanero on the pizza.
I said, I can handle it.
She can handle that it went like from like 0 to like 10. So I'm very, very happy that she posted that, because on my page this morning, I wanted to post actually our very first Valentine's together, which was this magical moment in San Diego.
Which was a month later.
Which was just a month later. And
month and a half later.
Or almost 2 months later. That if you look at the picture real closely, our eyes are barely open, because that night we spent the night over one of her best friend's house, and she put us into this room that had 2 little twin beds. But these twin beds weren't even twin. They were like micro twin that literally had like this energy of like petite. And so
they were the bed was a twin bed, but for 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and there were 2 of them. So Michael and I had to say, like, I remember your feet were sticking out.
Well, first I was going to sleep in the other bed, and then Honey was going to sleep in one. But we realized that, you know what, let's be together and hold and enjoy that space. So I remember very importantly, I was like, okay, we can do this, and it was so small. I remember I've never I don't know, like when you see a twin bed, there's at least room for 2 people. I felt like we were squished
nothing,
in.
But nothing.
So it was great because I think
it was a baby bed.
It was like a baby bed with like both of us, and then
we got no sleep.
No sleep whatsoever. As you can see, our hair looks like that kind of hair that you're like waking up and it's just like whacked. And from that moment, we drove out to the desert in San Diego to.
We went to Joshua
Tree to find a beautiful, wonderful place to stay that night, and it was just
to see if we can see spaceships.
To see spaceships, see stars, and it was just amazing to see how it was to like move from like one journey to the next, as I was just freshly being acclimated to the country and moving into this Valentine's Day with just really a lot of excitement, a lot of adventure, and what I wrote this morning, just very grateful that we could go through so much. I mean, I feel like what we've experienced in 3 years, as we always express, thousands of years that we've gone through, and it's just been very empowering to see how and what comes across our plate, because it is a venture. I don't know how you guys feel, but this Ascensionist journey, it is fully a journey, and I find that we've been blessed, because this week, in the past couple of weeks, we've really allowed ourselves to dive deeper into that innocence, allowing that inner child, allowing that inner play to come forward, because we know how much it really helps lift the vibration. It really helps bring forth all that comes forth, because as you saw this past week, it was unbelievable to I can't
So
even
maybe you
remember.
can speak to that. So we want to, again, the focus is, as we share a little bit of personal experience, we want to really focus the energy of the divine love, because the divine love is within all of us. We started 2020, the 2020 fixie. Oh, don't
I'm
take it.
getting a little sweaty though.
Really?
Yeah, but I can keep it on.
Okay. I love it. Well, do as you like.
All right, let me see if I can put maybe the little parts.
Huh? It looks like a crowd.
I don't want to put the thong over it. Look like a
Headdress.
Look like a headdress.
So 2020, Michael and I started New Year's Eve this year at Rise Wellbeing Center. For those of you that know, with our big event we had that was 2 months in preparation for the divine alignment. The whole 2020 and the next decade is for the personal planetary ascension to align fully with our divine, to merge the divine self and the human self and bring the vibration of the divine, which is all of the wholeness of what we are, that I am presence, that the true essence of the I am, into this vessel. This vessel is a very important garment that will give us the opportunity to fully bring the vibration through. However, when we have these debris in our emotional, mental, psyche, and physical bodies that are denser, that are in separation of our truth, they block the streaming line of that vibration in its purity, in its full dynamic, in its full presence, in its full power to be embodied. So the next 10 years is a huge part of being anchored deeply in our truth, but the truth of the divine being that we are, the divine creator being. We are not the primary creator, but we are creators that are divine. And I choose the word divine. I do not use the word God, because gods and goddesses were able to bring their divine into their embodiment and also live as super beings, as gods and goddesses. Is that possible in us? Absolutely. Do I believe in it? Yes. Can humanity reach a God essence, God status or status? Absolutely. I completely feel so. Are we there yet? Completely not, because the vibration on the planet has finally moved into a space where the grid lines are able to hold this light within its unity Christ consciousness that is crystalline, as Gaia has moved into her higher dimensional vibration. And we generally have to rise in our vibration so much more. Rise in the vibration, meaning rising to our divine truth, so that we can anchor the deeper part of ourselves, which ties into our multidimensional selves, into the human form. So, having said that, the next 10 years is the journey of becoming the realized being. And I remember it was last month or so, when middle of the night, I heard the voice from divine saying to me, speak from the realized state. And that was not the eyes that is watching, the eye that is seeing, the spiritual eye. The spiritual eye is inside, that also is tied into your heart. What you're able to see from your spiritual eye is by far so much grander than what the physical eye is just able to watch or perceive. So when we expand this next 10 years, we're expanding through these bodies, through our own portal of light, we're expanding it into a full gateway. That's why these gateways, we're working with them so we can move through them and become expanded as an ascended being. And when we're as an ascended being vibrating, we're vibrating in a consciousness that is connected to the divine nature of our truth. So it's no longer the limitation of the human that is functioning, operating, making choices. Is that greater part of ourselves that is walking on earth, on Gaia's belly, as a crystalline Christed being. So there is that revelation of the Christ itself. So that's one step within this ascension that really kicks it into gear in 2020, because 2020 is able to ground the energy. Just like a table, we're finally able to be grounded in it and anchored. So it's no longer just on the etheric plane. So for many individuals that have gone through their awakening and they've been able to open up to their higher spiritual essence and the multidimensional aspects of themselves, their next phase in this 2020 and the next decade is to be anchored, bring it through their spiritual, etheric, mental, emotional, and physical garment and allowed to be embodied. So it is something that is actually tangible, is reliable, is countable, because one becomes a streaming line in which is a complete portal of light where the heavenly realm literally pours through their vibration into earth, and only the goods are then brought to earth. And I share this because we have seen many in our spiritual communities that talk a good talk, but they're not anchored. They're not living their truth. There's this split energy. They say one thing, they may write really beautiful posts and what have you, and that's okay. The consciousness is there. Let me just put this, but the embodiment is not there. And there's still a lot of like the minute politics come, there's that ugliness comes in, or they're very focused still on the dark. All of these things are happening, or they still want to go really from the Illuminati and this and that. So why I'm sharing this, because those are still debris within the vessel that has not been cleared. So the embodiment of the Christed being is not fully able to be embodied and anchored, because these debris block the full radiance of it. And one more thing, Michael, the divine love is the key in this. The divine love, how much are we able to breathe in this state of beingness? How much are we giving ourselves permission to breathe into it, to then surrender into it, to fully welcome it, and to expand, really expand into it, which we tie into what happened to your birthday, and to then take the action from there, bold and in most courageous way. So we're all in different places, and I'm just wrapping this up. And as the earth brings her changes and lots of changes, lots of what would be considered devastation, what have you, is part of this. But those of us who are called to embody the crystalline light in its fullness, we are fully aware and embodied, so we're not being thrown around. And that's our next 10 years, just as we started our Tuesday night, to just hold the vibration of love. Can we just hold the vibration of love?
And thank you, Heidi. It's very important to share that in a very powerful celestial way, because Many that are going through this, it's going through this realm right now, especially in our 3D, where in that embodiment and in that awakening, it's that beingness of it. And a lot of us, when we're moving through this, it's the demonstration of each moment in action that's given to us. And so as debris, as energy is being dissolved, it's also that compassion and love that we're giving to the programming, the condition, and the old energies that we've been brought into to help release. Because many, if not all of us, we're all going to ascend. We're all moving through this together. And we're going through some of the most powerful times where we're standing in front of all of our ancestors and we're literally looking at what their conditions and programs limitations are. And now shifting those. And sometimes it can be overwhelming because in the old systems of society, in the programming, in the sex, rock and rolls, and all of what the institution's education has taught us, it's been a very limited lens. Yet as we evolve and expands with this powerful light that's moving through us, it's through our own action and choices. And most important, our own response is how we're going to be that. Because, we can, with many light workers and many energies, as it comes through us, it's one thing to know it, but really it's our response versus our reaction to see how is that being demonstrated. Because every moment and every day is an opportunity to see where we are in our graduation. And a lot of it comes through where are we holding our own judgment, not only within others, but where within ourselves. Kelli, you made a great comment. Where are there areas that I'm not accepting in myself because I see that in others? So it's a daily discipline and a labor of love to really look within to see, as this expansion keeps happening, where within myself are those limitations, because those are the areas that are expanding. And it's not just you, it's you're doing it for the collective. It's our human beingness that's giving us the opportunity to live what we see and feel from the heaven and bring that to earth and allow that. And as much as we can, stay in our meditation, stay in our prayers, and stay in a high dimensional reality, we are on this planet that we are bringing all of this so that we can so that we can fully live that, and not only live that, but ascend into that, but be on this human plane, because we chose as beings, we chose as beings of earth to come down here to expand through all the old debris.
But let's talk about that, because I feel that's so important. So we know this on an etheric level, on the mental plane. We know this, but let's really take this as a real example, Michael. So this weekend you had your birthday weekend, right? We didn't go. We were in Hawaii. We met some of those disappointments as things fell apart, but we were here. We had an amazing time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was this beautiful surprise that I had planned with our friends that you got to experience, and you made this beautiful video after. And how interesting is it, Michael? So we desire to experience love, right? We love that. And then here's, like, for example, opportunity like this that comes up. And then here you are being faced by the power of the love through an individual coming and meeting you with appreciation, with gratitude, with all their love, without holding back, meeting you with a rose and just presenting you, not one, not two,
16.
not three, 16 people. And you're just in tears. And you couldn't even function the next day. And I really want to speak to that, because we want this, but when we're faced with it, the power of divine love is so ginormous that we, within our humanness, have to expand into it, just so that we can really allow it. And I feel that was the experience that you had to experience, because I mean, you couldn't even function.
And it was amazing what Honey was
saying.
And
I really want to speak to this, because we're talking about, it's good to talk about it, but here the opportunity comes in, we shut off because we can't handle it.
And I feel, and that was the highest extreme manner, because usually 16 people don't usually come in that intensity. That was unbelievable. And that was something that I don't know how many people experience it at one level, because I feel
I don't know if anybody is, but I feel everybody should experience it.
If one person can experience it with one person, it's great. 16, it's absolutely phenomenal.
So let's just take this about like there's a video on that you get to see it live. So right here, Michael was blindfolded at first, sitting right here, and everybody was around. And a few days before, I asked in the email from our friends, I said, this is really for Michael's 44th birthday. Whatever you feel, the love you feel, I'm going to hand something over to you, and you're going to go in front of him, and you're going to just express it. So each person got to give Michael a rose and first really express her and his love to Michael, one after another, and including his mother, including my mother and my papa and myself. And it was so beautiful. I really wish this for everybody, just to experience it at least once. And I should say this, Michael did this for Mother's Day for me and my mom with my 2 sons last year. I was so moved. My mom was so moved. It was such an incredible gift. And I really wanted Michael to be on the receiving end, just to be touched by that creative expression. And he was beyond touched.
It was by far one of the most powerful. I mean, I'm so grateful to you, honey. It was such a touching, heart-opening explosion, because I feel part of my journey, and many journeys, are just the acceptance of love, the celebration of one within, and to fully receive everything. And sometimes we're so overwhelmed by love, like it's almost like too much, like you have to like shut it down because it's like it's too much to handle. But that night, it was phenomenal, because I allowed my tears, I allowed just the beautiful nature of what they were saying to pierce me directly without even holding back myself, so that I can just fully,
bunch of us were tearing too.
Fully take in every single thing.
Did you see a bunch of us were also tearing?
It was amazing to watch each being go through and just share. I mean, I find one of the biggest gifts is when we can really just listen and hear an individual. Is one of the biggest gifts. Then for them, when they're giving that to you, and just to be open without saying thank you, without trying to cut them off, with just staying in that beautiful vibration that allows the fullness of love and compassion to be washed all over. It was a moment that I wish I could replay over and over. She actually videoed it, so it was great to see what happened, because the energy not only connected me to the individual, but the energy also connected every single person in that room. And it really gave a display of what I felt is, I said this is our birthright, to feel that love. And part of this ascension journey, I really believe, is, we're getting stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched. And sometimes just in our own brought up, our own childhood, maybe our parents didn't give us that amount of love. Maybe we didn't feel that support, that we just don't know what it feels like when someone gives you that amount of love.
And for you to be actually receptive to receive, not in your mental body, but really receptive to it, because once you receptive, it is so overwhelming, the power of it. And it was divine love, because not only you were blessed to receive, the participants that we all lifted up, we all receive. And that's the gift of divine love. When we give ourselves permission to allow divine love to move through us, not only does it benefit us, it benefits everyone. And that's the point that I'm bringing into this week
and to give
to today,
and to give the example that whoever you're with, whatever experience it can be someone that you just met,
right?
To have the gift to go eye to eye, heart to heart, soul to soul, and give the opportunity to fully embrace someone with the highest level of love is such a blessing. And to watch that, it really activates this higher heart. Our throat chakra that wants to expand to the point that we're just one conduit level of love. And no better, even when back in Mother's Day, to watch Honey's children.
So let's talk about it. So last Mother's Day, Mom and Michael said he surprised something. So of course he's dealing with my 2 teenager sons. So he had to like something creative he had to do.
I had to like call them 3 times.
3 times to get him ready. He had to go pick him up and all of this. So we went to my mom's house and Michael put 2 chairs, Mom and I sitting with each other. And my puppeteer can't hear very well, but he kind of like said, okay, we want to have you take part. So he got 3 dozen roses,
red
pink,
roses, and purple.
Right. And so he told my sons and I, he said, okay, I don't know what you said.
Well, so basically what I did is they had no idea what was happening. So I had Honey June and her mother, Betty June, sit down. And when they sat down, I said, okay, Kiana and Evan, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take a rose. And each time you go up to them, I want you to look into their eye and just express your deepest love and gratitude of why they are so important in your life, or what is it about them that you just want to share, because to have a mother receive that from their children, to have a grandmother to receive that, and just as a teenager, teenagers, for them just to take that element. And it was funny because in the car, I had to like, okay, what are we going to do again? What are we going to do again? And it was so funny because I'm like, guys, it's not that hard. I'll do it. And even coming in, I could sneak the roses in. I blindfold them so they wouldn't see. And just to witness 2 beautiful, powerful women to receive that from their children.
I mean, it was, I can't ever express it into full words what took place, because as Mom and I were sitting there together to watch Michael first came, and then let's say my older son came and said, Mom, I'm so grateful that something like, I don't even know the words right now, that you just believe in me the way you do. And he handed me a rose, and I'm just like, and I was just like, wow. And then he took 1 rose, gave it to my mom, Mama Fairy. I just love how you love me. You always make me food. And so we went through one by one by one. And by the end, I had like a full bouquet of roses that were blessed. And my mom had, and we just looked at each other. I was at one point so grateful for me to receive it, but I was more grateful that my mom was so deserving of this, that from her grandson, for the first time, she was so celebrated. And I was so grateful to. And so, of course, for your 44th birthday, I wanted you to be on the receiving end to see what did that feel like. And I'm sharing this with you, and you can watch the video. Maybe it'll inspire you. Please, if you have somebody special in your life, mother, father, grandmother, children, lover, dear friend, please take this, however it touches you, go celebrate, bless another. It is the most incredible gift one can experience, to feel that level of love. Truly, I feel there's nothing more nourishing.
I mean, I literally the next day just wanted to stay in bed all day. I was so knocked out. She's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, to receive that amount of vibration, and just take it
that
in.
That
group. It took me a couple of days just to get back into this, because as Honey said, divine love in this human body, to bring that down here. It's like we're funneling this incredible infinite source through a straw. And that straw is here to expand, to expand, to expand to the highest levels. And for us to fully feel that and to keep expanding it is unbelievable, because even we know in this body full of light, if we could embody divine source, our body would literally explode. So we're in this beautiful ascension and this journey that we're expanding. And what I love about this and what you said is, in that divine love, it is giving us the opportunity, this crystalline Christed energy, to come through us, to be at our most natural state.
But you have to open up. Say, like, for example, we've talked about it. You've been activating the crystalline diamond light body, right? But what took place, that, would you say, like, because you couldn't even function Monday, because you had to get you had to integrate. You had to allow it to come through all your body. All your bodies had to move into this. It's a consciousness, right? It's a consciousness of you accepting that you are worthy of being loved,
Right.
that you're deserving to be loved, that it's that it is okay for you to fully live from love.
Exactly.
Right? Because you have to get like pulled and stretched, and that's the experience I had. Not the roses was, but before that, like, and I remember one day when Yeshua had said to me, he said, are you willing to love you the way the divine loves you? And I was like, that's not even possible. Like, I didn't feel I was capable, or because I just felt there was too much debris in me, and shame and embarrassment, all of that. So I had to get like stretched.
And you know what's interesting? When each person came up to me on that night, it wasn't the love that we would think of the human love, like this emotional, kind of like goo-goo, romantic love. It was the perfection of divine love, from speaking from their truth, from their honor, from how they valued me, and how they really just came in their pure authenticity.
Raw,
real,
straight from the heart.
And when they did that, I would tell you, many of us, when we think of being tired is a weakness, or we think being exhausted, there's something wrong. But I'm learning deeper and deeper that tiredness and a rest is actually a sign for the universe to say, sit back, relax, and do nothing, because your body actually needs to absorb.
Wait, that's
and
actually
marinate.
being horizontal. No, that's the feminine energy. Just want
I'll let you
okay,
finish.
just say that, because I want to say what the technicality around
she'll
that
say
is.
The technicality of it, but it's at that point, our body is so exhausted. My body's so exhausted. I was so tired that all I want to do is lie down and just absorb what was happening to me, because on a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, I was in such this disarray of like, what the heck just happened to me? And all I wanted to do was lie down, even though we had to do some errands that morning, which got me dizzy. But it was my level of just integrating and marinating. When big moments like that happen, it's so important to take that time to process it before we jump to the next level, because those are the magical moments that really touch us and allow us to expand to the next level.
And I'm going to video this part of it, because this is so important. I really want to touch upon this. When you experience on this human level, that level of vibration of love, the reason why the next day you feel so caught, the best way you're trying to attempt to explain it, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're wiped out, you can't even function, right? Is because your physical body has to get lay down to get horizontal with Gaia's, with the heartbeat of Mother Earth, so that it can resynchronize in the vibration of that love that we've been in separation of. That's one. The other part of it is, as this streamline from the vertical axis is coming in, you're then moving from the masculine that is pouring into the vertical axis, going down, then you get to open up to the horizontal, and that's like the ocean. And I want to really address this. This is what really pisses me off about the Tibetan, sexuality and tantric, and they share for men not to, in their lovemaking, they shouldn't ejaculate, they shouldn't do that because they get tired and they said they're giving their power away. It's bullshit. And I really want to share this, because this is what's happening. What happens is when the man, for example, in this dynamic, it's the same thing. When you open up to that level of love, there's a streamline coming in, and you're so saturated by it has to be in the vibration of love. You're so expanded in it, then you're knocked out. Why? Because you have to get horizontal to integrate in the sacred divine masculine, sacred divine feminine. Because now you're merging into the sacred divine feminine that's formless, that is so expanded, because then you rise into the next level octave of light. And this is what really pisses me off about this masculine tantric consciousness from the East that have sort of been like, oh, let's not do it. And there's a lot around it because they couldn't fully capture and understand the power that is behind here. And I really wanted to just address this very quickly. Hi, Valerie. We're live also on the YouTube. So I just wanted to take a moment to address that because I feel it's so important that you give yourself permission to rest, integrate, because you're integrating the vibration into your physical garment so you can become it. But when you don't allow it, you can't become it. And the vibration of love, and two humans bring that level of love together. They bring the energy, they bring the physical vessels together. The physical vessels completely take a different form because the light is coming in and the light is now interacting. So then your physical body has to go apart and it to expand into it. And that's, I really just wanted to talk about this because that's the part of the divine alchemy that's missing in the consciousness of the male dominance in many of these tantric teachings that I can't even relate to because it's missing the higher consciousness of the truth of what is really taking place in its most magical beauty, true alchemy. Sorry, I just had to really talk about that deeply.
And the beauty of what I feel in that expansion of energy that keeps raising and vibrating is that eventually we're going to get to a level within us where that frustration, the anger, anything that has a hold over us, because that is expansion, has moved to a place that no longer these lower vibrations affect us.
No, Michael. That's not what I'm talking. I'm speaking about. I hope you.
No. I'm skipping over. I'm just saying to the expansion of love. I'm going back to the expansion of love. Of saying,
gotcha.
Not all that. I'm saying the beauty of what happened this weekend and the beauty of what has happened in what I see in myself is.
So what do you see from yourself? Like from Monday, you couldn't function. This happened, and then it's been this week. Do you feel you've changed?
I feel from Sunday and what I've learned and what I've experienced is in what I felt, because it expanded me so beyond what I could possibly imagine, that little things that would either pull me or distract me have now do not have an effect over me. And what I was explaining before, which had no relationship to what you were saying and about tantric, I was saying when I felt that energy expand, then I'm realizing there's certain pieces of me now that no longer are pulling me because the love is so powerful that these little vibrations or debris no longer have control. And I feel that is the beautiful part of our ascension, where all of us are going to move to a phase where the love expands and we keep growing it stronger. And it's going to keep expanding and expanding. And it's almost like this, this pulsating, because sometimes it can expand, but also it can contract. I mean, it expands and it keeps expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding. We saw this in our meditation. As that keeps expanding, then I realize when I wake up in the morning and it's cold out, or there's certain energies that I'm
typically
that would throw me this past February, the first time in many years where we haven't traveled because we wanted to ground the energies, where the weather, the sun, the sand, all the beauty of it did not have that pull. And so what I learned from Sunday was the ability of how much love expanded me, and then going through the week, the past couple of days of once I felt something that started to pull me, then I said, okay, how can I shine all that love that I received? How can I shine all that love directly at it so that it doesn't have an effect over me? Because I feel it's like my wings have expanded. I feel like I've been like next level to a higher octave. And now all I want to do is come from that joy, but come from that joy and fun and that excitement and that enthusiasm.
So it was actually perfect timing this week, right? With our adventure play, and then we have this, and it's somehow aligned
because part of it is
somehow really magically.
I feel like when the love comes through, it allows so much vibration in our creativity to explore and to expand and to evolve to a higher
But
level.
let me ask you a question. You just said something. This is coming to me. And do you feel, Michael? Remember how we've had a lot of this conversation? How the divine love is so supreme and powerful that is not this human love. Can you sense, see, or feel, particularly from this weekend, and particularly what you experienced on Sunday, that which I'm speaking with, it has a whole different vibration, and its power is that. I mean, and we've just touched, just how you say, scratch the surface.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
That's it. Like not even we're nowhere near even close to what it is.
You know what it is? It's like when I was a little kid, and I don't know if this dates me back.
Yeah,
probably will.
Yeah.
But do you remember when, if they're still around, there's these little scratch and sniff stickers? So you would scratch it and you would sniff it, and I don't know if you remember them, but they were like,
I didn't
you'd scratch
do those.
it and you'd sniff them, like, then you'd scratch it again, and they eventually wear off. But the first scratch and you'd sniff it, it'd be like the most amazing orange smell, or the most amazing blossom smell, or the most amazing sweet smell. And the more you scratch and sniffed, it was like, wow, there's such a fragrance, there's such an aura of energy. And I find that what happened this week was, because it touched me so deeply, then it's like, it's now given me this like deeper will to be like, wow, I want to explore even deeper modes of it, not for myself, but for the connection of what came through me, so that I can share that, so I can bring that forth in the education or the experience, because it felt so unbelievable that all I could think was like, wow, I really, like when people are walking around, I really looked at all their eyes and I thought, I really hope that each person gets to experience.
See, isn't it interesting? Wait. Isn't that interesting? Once you experience this, it's so incredible. You just, all you wish, there's nothing greater wish you have for anybody else. You're not wishing their health. You're not wishing their money. You're not wishing them cars. You're not wishing them houses. You're wishing for them to get it, to taste what you just tasted, that can't at all be captured in any words. It's a direct experience, and that is the true essence of what we are. When we put the barriers aside and we show up, we get to share. We just get to share the presence with each other, because we're sharing the present. It's the ultimate present, and you can't at all in any way teach this to anybody. It's such a direct experience that has to be directly experienced. And you can't. And
it's exactly what Honey said. I feel
put it back here.
It's this feeling of euphoria, enthusiasm, excitement, and ecstasy, and we both know
it is totally orgasmic, natural orgasm.
It's like when we feel that in that clean, beautiful, pure state. It's one thing to feel it alone, but it's ginormous when we get to experience it together, because just that moment of looking around and being in the presence of beloveds and be like, wow, this is what life's all about, to share, to experience, but to pass it along. Like to give that moment to saying, and you too can experience it. I can't wait to do this for you, because I want to be a part of it. And one of my best friends, and it was like, well, my birthday, I would love to experience it. And just that excitement of what I felt, so and now beautiful. To pass that along is what I feel is really the power that we have to share this, because this life is meant to be brought with all of us. And
the thing is, no amount of material can ever capture the vibration. That's why the power of the heart comes from the infinite, is beyond anything you can touch. We will put the video on here, so if you want to watch it, be inspired, and however, we don't own it. It's his gift for everybody. But maybe you, and then you create your own with it.
So thank you, love. Thank you for that experience, because she put me into the guest room, and then even further went into the bathroom, and then just sat there and just waited for them to set up. She blindfolded me, which
let me bring this for a second. So for those that are right here, just one second, I want to show you.
Which eventually, the blindfold was off, because it was good for us to see eye to eye, heart to heart. But really, give yourself the opportunity, if in person, to share and express your love and joy.
So 1 second, everybody. So hold on 1 second. So here's the little.
So we're about to do a little surprise for Michael. Yay, everyone! These are our sacred, beautiful friends. Michael has no idea he's about to sit on the golden chair, and he's about to experience an appreciation experience in here. So it's going to be wonderful, and looking forward to the experience.
So that was that. So then let me show you. Well, here's Michael. Look, I brought him out. I put his antenna on and put him on the chair. Look. And then, okay, look, right.
Thank you, everyone, for this beautiful birthday celebration for my beautiful love, Michael. He's so deserving to enter 44 magically.
As she's wearing her unicorn, I had to wear my fluffiness.
And so I'm going to welcome the space now that's been dedicated to you. So you can just.
So this whole video we're going to put there. So you see one by one our dear friends coming and presenting Michael, and he was just moved and tears and moved, and I mean just so beautiful. So we share it however it touches you. So again, the whole point of this is again the gift of divine love, to welcoming it into our lives, welcoming it to ourselves. And it is a daily devotion to move to its frequency.
And
it's a frequency.
And to demonstrate that it is possible. And even for those that are watching that are by themselves or in hard times, give yourself a rose and express to yourself out loud.
In the mirror.
In a jungle, in a forest, on a beach. It can be a seashell.
I feel
Kelli.
It's really beautiful. You go to the mirror. Go to the mirror because you have to see yourself.
So
right?
in a mirror, to acknowledge in what you deeply love and appreciate to yourself, give that opportunity. Even if you don't have a rose or a mirror, give that opportunity just to place your hands on your heart and express what you love about yourself, what you appreciate. If it's your beautiful feet that you can walk, your wonderful eyes that you can see, these hands that can create. We have so many infinite capacities within us to fully live life and love life. And sometimes we get so caught on this external nature that within is all the power waiting.
And what if you take 12 roses? Let's say Demetries, Valerie. Let's say what happens if you take 12 roses and you grab one, you go in front of the mirror and you say that you give yourself permission to give a rose to yourself from the power of that love, but express it first, because the part is expression, and do this. And even Adriana, you do that. We don't wait for nobody. And to do that is so beautiful. We don't wait because this gift belongs to everywhere. It's already here for us. And I feel then we open that door, then the heart is like, wow, I know this truth, and I don't need to wait for anything, anyone. Then the universal corporation works within that field.
And what I love about that, and what I love that Honey expressed is, I feel from this experience and what it's been my dream is, I really am passionate.
Ooh, how would I do?
I'm really passionate, and I'm really want to dedicate my life of leading from the heart. And I know that a lot of times, that in our mental body, it's this mental bully that sometimes is leading us based on our limitations, based on the things that we don't want. Yet when we can just lead from our hearts and allow that ability to fully honor who we are and allow that beautiful emperor, empress, that beautiful divine nature within us,
Right.
to let that lead us and let that be the inner intuition, the inner brain of our heart that guides us based on what it is to fully allow the nature of who we are, because the trueness and the authenticity is in the heart. And when we can fully be present in the heart, lead from the heart, love from the heart, then we're living as life is just flowing right through us. And that's what I love about this opportunity.
Do you know what this
reminds
reminds me? So I remember I had taught a rose meditation. I should really include this for tomorrow night. It's been a long time since I've taught it. Okay, I love this, inspired. So we're going to do a living example demonstration of it. Okay, ready? So Michael, you're going to go first.
Okay.
So here
you
you're.
go first,
No.
Christian?
I'm going to have you go first since you
Okay.
explained. So I want you to look at yourself. And I want you to really look at yourself. And I want you with so much. Oh my goodness. I want you to. Are you looking at? Don't look at the big one, the big side. So I want you to.
Side?
Hold on. Yeah, no, that's the smaller side. So what I would love to invite you, Michael, is actually this is a really good one to be here too. We're gonna do this exercise here and video it because it's so powerful what we're about to do. I love the spontaneous. So I'm going to invite you, Michael, to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself something you really value, appreciate, what you really value and appreciate about yourself, and you want to gift yourself a rose.
Okay, Michael, I would like to express from my heart just how thankful I am for the sweetness, the kindness, and the joy that comes out when you really want to serve and help individuals. It's like this natural flow of energy that just comes out so gracefully. I appreciate when that is brought forward, there's this lightness and there's this joy of happiness where even humor comes in to bring forth this direct connection from the heart that you're speaking from to the heart that goes into the individual that I'm so grateful to share. So thank you, Michael.
And give Rose to Michael. Give Michael the rose.
I give you the rose now, Michael. Can I kiss myself?
Yes, of course. How was that?
That's beautiful. That was beautiful.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I never saw myself up that close before, but that's beautiful.
Okay, so my turn. And we like to invite you to grab a mirror and maybe a rose, and let's do this together. So let's see. So HoniB, I so appreciate that you give yourself permission to just be yourself and give into that part of you that brings so much joy and giddiness to you, and the way it serves and lifts others. I so appreciate the courage in you that allows this magnificence to take place. I love you so much. And you're so, so dear. I give this rose to you. And I kiss you.
That's beautiful. How'd that feel?
It felt like I was talking to my sister. The sister I don't have. I loved it.
That's beautiful.
I really love that. It's been a long time that I've done that. That felt really, really good. Thank you. So let's do that. So thank you, everyone. So we invite you to. I told you we're having a special Valentine.
And I feel
Valentine today. I feel it's so important. We can give each other the gifts. We can give each other a gift. So let's gift each other. So who's going first?
You can go first.
So my beautiful Michael, I so appreciate and value everything that we get to share together. the wildness, the craziness, the adventurous, the inner child, the master, and everything in between. You are literally everything. You're my beloved, you're my brother, my father, my child, my uncle, my cousin, you know, sometimes my grandmother, my mother, my sister, my twin. Like it's everything. And even my pet unicorn and my dragon too. I just appreciate the full range that I get to experience life with you. It's truly, truly, truly the most gracious gift. And I appreciate you so much. And I gift this rose to you from my heart, to your heart, for the golden rose heart that you are. But you couldn't fully receive that.
What's that?
You were too active. I could tell you weren't fully receiving. You were self-conscious. Isn't that interesting?
I fully received it. I felt I fully received it. I was listening to every word.
I don't know.
I felt it.
Okay.
I felt it.
Okay.
My dear sacred honey, what I really appreciate about you, what I really love about you, and what I really truly honor about you is just your reverence, your devotion, and your dedication to live as the divine, to bring forth what I've always dreamed of, your true, full essence, every aspect about yourself, no hold bars, not just one foot in the door, but infinite foot in the doors. And for me to experience that, the full multidimensional aspect of yourself, it brings such joy, because the calling in my heart to live a spiritual life, to live a divine life, to live an authentic life, to live a true life is embodied in this divine sacred union when we come together and share that. To really share the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, to see the blue monster come out, to see the loving princess come out, to see the queen, to see the angry. It really gives the full spectrum that gives me just the greatest love, that I can fully cherish that with you as my beloved. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my love. Oh, okay. Thank you, my love. I really received that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So we wanted to demonstrate that also for you and just take advantage of today and how beautiful it is. And you know, something Michael said, we're all here to be naked in our truth, naked in our beingness, and the full range. And I feel one of the most important thing is Michael and I were called to a sacred divine union to serve from it, to serve. And that's why we have to be open, free, we share it all. And the other part of it was the ability to say no, the ability for me to say no to some of the individuals that came before Michael, that my heart did not feel the resonance of their heart. It couldn't be so embodied. And so how can I serve this Magdalene frequency in its truth and its full range without hiding it back with, if they can't handle the full range that I am? And for me to welcome Michael to be the full range he is and not hide it. And I feel that's the greatest gift we give to each other, to recognize that it's not something is wrong. Here's a full range of us. Here's a range. Some of it matches, some of it doesn't match. And let's just bring love to it and see if we can dissolve some of the, debris, so that divine can really move through us. And that's the gift we can give to each other at any given time. So for that, we're also very grateful to you, Adriana, Kelli. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Demetries, for being with us.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. so grateful to you.
And all those that are watching on the replay,
Yes.
all those that are watching, we want to take this day to celebrate divine love every day. And yes, we throw on our pink and purple, reds and whites, and we get a little goofy, but I feel part of that is the beautiful innocence that we can connect into, because in that innocence is the purity of who we are. As children of light that have come here to radiate this, we embody it by bringing forth in the action of having fun, in the action of playing, in the action of what comes through us is to be brought forth so that we can all connect with each other, so that we can remind each and every one that it is here for all of us. There's no limitations. There's no
it belongs
blockages.
to everybody.
It belongs
the
to
love
everyone.
belongs to
And
everyone.
even for those that are in positions that don't feel that, remember, it is there for you.
Yeah.
It is already within. It's just taking that remembrance of the beautiful being that you are, that magnificent radiance that you are, that we get excited because we enjoy to play.
Yeah.
And when we enjoy to play, as you've seen, we not only go into the play day, but we want to experience the infinite of what happens when the heart is open and the magic comes forth.
So having said that, so Michael, I had an idea for today.
Okay.
So I haven't done reading. So I used to do a lot of reading for individuals as a mediumship and, all of that. I haven't done that in so long. But today I felt guided to bring my romance cards out. And I wanted to just give a couple of gifts. Let's see what comes through. So I wanted to see from who's watching here. So let's see, Kelli or Adriana, Valerie or Demetries. Let me see, whoever is on our YouTube link right now. There are 4 of you watching, 5 of you. So I would love to do a reading for you. So but you have to give me permission. So can somebody make a note to do a reading for you? And I'm going to see what comes up for you. Can you just make a note there? Like, I'm ready to receive. So I can pull for you. Any of you.
Yes, please.
Kelli. Okay,
All
so
right,
Kelli.
Here we go.
So Kelli, bring your hands to your heart and please breathe into that sacred space and cover yourself with white dazzling light as I'm going to call up on the presence of the great spirit, the great mystery, and the great divine love to be anchored in these oracle romance cards. And let's see what message is here to be shared for you today, Kelli. As soon as I receive a guide, oh, here we go. I know there's a guidance when it comes out. So your card is chemistry. So you receive, there is a strong magnetic attraction here. So this card on a surface level is speaking of the chemistry within the person that you are with right now. But there's also deeper things in here that I would like to go over with you really quick. So, if you don't mind, I'm just going to tune in and just share a couple of things right here. So one from this card, there's angelic support that is supporting this to allow the romance to come. The other part is for you to give yourself permission to actually receive and allow yourself to be vulnerable and go into the unknown. The other part is how important it is to be nature. You are right now in Tulum, to really be in nature, to receive the nature divine presence to help you support in exploration of the chemistry. The other part of this is the pheromones here are communicating past life relations that are here to, however way this was from another incarnation, to help support it and to go in whatever direction it's supposed to go. But as you allow yourself to be vulnerable and receiving, more will be shown in here. The other part of it is to give yourself permission, the light that is the light spark, which is this, to help guide you. Whenever, don't get into your head, continue to see through this light spark. So I want to just share that with you, and hopefully it will help support you. So that's for you. So no, we don't do it now.
Okay, gotcha.
Because it's
Okay,
my
sure.
live reading.
Gotcha.
You have never seen the live reading I
Okay.
do, have you? This is your first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to gift somebody. So let's see.
Anyone else?
Anybody else?
Adrian,
Adrian,
Demetries?
Demetries, do you want me to do a live reading for you? Anybody else? Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome, Kelly.
You're so welcome.
Any others?
Okay, so we did one for Kelly. So that's perfect. So thank you so much. So today is Angelic Day. Is the day 45. And it couldn't be more perfect.
Day 45.
Yes.
Placing your hands directly over your heart. Taking a nice, beautiful breath in and out. Another deep breath in. And breath out. And receive the messages from the angels. Open your heart. You were made out of love by a caring creator. Everything about you is based in love. And feeling it means that you're aware of your own self. You encounter God when you experience love. But to do so, your heart must be open, which may seem difficult or dangerous if you've closed yourself off for protection against emotional pain. We, the angels, can help you open up in a way that feels safe and secure. Go at your own pace with us as your steady guides, and will sweep away old pain and resentment as we guide you to trustworthy situations and relationships. All we need is for you to stay in close communication with us. Know what you're feeling. We can act on your desires without your consent. An open heart is God's most beautiful creation because it reflects heavenly love on earth. Thought for today. I willingly receive the love of God.
I willingly receive the love of divine.
I allow myself to feel it now.
I allow myself to feel it now.
Because it is safe for me to be cherished.
It is safe for me to be cherished.
I ask my angels to help me.
I ask my angels to help me.
Guard my open heart.
Guide my open heart.
Guard. And guide me in all relationships.
And guide me in all relationships.
I listen to and follow my divine guidance.
I listen to and follow my divine guidance.
And so it is.
And so it is. Yay. So beautiful. So as we wrap this up, we knew it would be a 2-hour day today. Sorry, one more second. I'm going to put this back on video. That's my camera's right behind here. Thank you so much, everyone. So I feel I like to wrap this up with a little maybe Pleiadian Magdalene consciousness light language. Yeah. So close your eyes, everyone. Record this. Breathe in and breathe out. Just breathe into that sacred space, in that dazzling ball of light that you're in. Feel the freedom of the love inside. To guide my heart. Naratia Moai Nuratuanai Imatuayatayaku Unauta Inarayanatani Ninau Minatunaya Muakaya Ninanikainutaya Tuna Nayataya Ma. Take a deep in breath in and release. Ooh, beautiful. Everyone beautiful.
Adrian will a card reading as well. She said, yes,
Where?
please.
Oh, okay. So we're going to wrap this up with Adrian. Okay, Adrian, close your heart. No, close your No, don't close your heart. Open your heart. Oy.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. I'm coming. Put yourself around this dazzling golden bubble of white light and breathe into that sacred space. And breathe out and let us call upon the divine love and angelic realm and the master's realm and the galactics to shine the radiance of light through this portal of light and bringing a message to Adrian. Okay, so this Adrian is unrequited love. I can't even pronounce that word. Michael, what does it say?
Unrequited love.
There is not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So, couple of things. So don't get scared. Let me just get through a couple of things here. So when we receive this, there are a couple of things that are being shown. So in here, one of the part is that is really bringing out is to make sure you honor the divine love inside of you, to fully embrace. Chemistry is very important because it's the direction of the flow of the energy. If the energy is not fully in its flow and you are trying to make something happen, it's not going to happen. So a lot of these cards, it's not necessarily with another person. It's we usually look at ourselves first and then with another person. So this card is being shown and there's a witness, and the witness is usually sometimes is the witnesses that are around us in human form, and also the witnesses that are our higher guides and guardians and the angels that are witnessing to help us remind us, are you paying attention? Are you self-honoring? Really choosing to listen? Is there a spark in that chemistry inside of you? Is that flowing to fully embrace it? And then there's a relationship. So what part of you have you finished with? You no longer want to move forward with? This is very important to also pay attention to that, because the reflection of it is also on the outside. And can love be brought into it? If love can no longer be brought into it, it serves its purpose. Can you bring gratitude into it so it can move forward? There's also another part in here. There's a sword here that looks the other way. This sword looking the other way, saying that means the danger, whatever it was, whatever frustration and, like lack of safety you felt, is no longer there. It's away from you. So it's very important to pay attention to that, to know you are safe. Safe is very important, and for you to trust what's deeper inside of you. And so there is definitely a reference to embracing the goddess inside of you. So I want to share that with you, and so much love. And I want to tell you, with your card, 2 cards came out. So this was the first one, and this is your second one very soon. It's interesting. It says, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you. So this is very important. Again, what you do with here, it's always your vibration. This vibration you set is what comes. So making sure you're really paying attention to that, you're honoring, so that part inside of you comes forward. So I felt it was beautiful how both of these were picked for you. And this part also is the sacred divine feminine, sacred divine masculine. It is the merging of ourselves that comes in, that plays itself also in our outer experience. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this live reading for you. And
thank you for all that you've joined on this beautiful sun-filled Friday. Thank you for sharing your hearts and really just being in the beautiful, wonderful, divine love that you are, because you are divine love. You're supported by love. You're valued by love. You're held in love. And it is all there within you already, just to expand and to bring that highest frequency and vibration that is already doing its part.
We're so grateful to you. So if this video really touched you, you felt it was supportive to you and it lifted you, it served its part, the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to us is by resharing it. So it's going to be on our Ascension Alchemists page as the YouTube link. Share your comment on the YouTube. You've been so courageous in putting it on the live chat, but make a comment on it. Put it on your Facebook. Let the energy move forward so others can benefit. That's the greatest gift. Tomorrow night, if you're in Maryland, Adrian, if you like, I'm teaching the chocolate meditation, embracing the inner divine love. It's a bit shamanic. There's movement, and we get to really experience the power of meditation. Meditation with this fifth dimensional consciousness of the spirit of cacao and coming into that space. It's so beautiful. I've taught it in so many different countries. It's my absolute favorite class to teach. I just love it so much. And it is tomorrow night at Clarksburg, Yoga and Wellness at 8 to 10 p.m. And if you're interested, email me. You just have to prepare yourself, read everything I wrote, and then come attend. And Sunday, Michael, you're
I'll
at
be at Healing Crystals. It is completely
in Dulles,
Virginia, where I'll be facilitating the divine light transformation. It is completely filled, but for those that would like to receive healing online through Skype, I'd be more than honored to share the Sacred Divine Heart Listening, which I heart and whole in my beingness bring forth my sacred divine love, my sacred divine energy to fully allow that space so that one can be in their highest state of expression, to be heard and to fully be embraced by the highest divine.
It's so wonderful. And we want to share with you. So Tuesday, we will have our silent meditation. And it's so exciting because there are other people that have joined forces with us now. Rest and Rise Wellbeing Center open their doors. So they will be, while we're having it live here, people can join there. And as of the 3rd of March in Bluffton, South Carolina, Tanya that was on, she's also opened that space so that people that are there, they can go and it will be live streamed. They'll join forces with us. And if you have a center or your place, or you want to host it in your home, open it up, let us know, we'll include you. And then we leave on
Wednesday.
We leave on Wednesday and to Miami for the 222 Galactic portal. We're working with that. So we look forward to seeing you, and so much love to all of you. Thank you so much for being connected.
Thank you for joining.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.